Hi Cancer, my name is Audrey Alison and this is your September 2016 forecast for the month. I'm very happy to be here. I want to take a moment to thank you so much for your subscriptions to the channel, as well as your support on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot. And I'm also taking a moment to thank you for choosing me to read for you, Cancer, choosing me for your readings. I love my clients, and thank you for your donations. For those of you who are so gracious to donate, it's so humbling to receive support in this year. So I'm very grateful for that. I had the opportunity to monetize this channel through YouTube, and I chose not to as of yet because I really wanted to provide some uninterrupted advertisement-free readings. And seeing that your donations are there also helps me keep it that way. So I really appreciate that. I'm using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place. And at the end, I'll also be pulling a card from Doreen Virtue's Angel deck. I was inspired to take this with me after a Sunday meditation. I draw a card for myself on Sundays. And when I was done, I felt and heard that this is coming with me. So we'll be using that as a clarifier at the end of the reading. Let's get to it. This month is a mouthful, and I've been saying that in the forecast because it's eclipse season, and we start our month with a Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is already retrograde at the top of the month in Virgo, retrograding from 29 degrees of Virgo back to 14 degrees of Virgo. This impacts your third house. And Cancer, your third house of siblings, local neighborhood, travel, communications, writing, publishing, speech, the vehicle, that house is impacted tremendously in this month. Because this is where our new moon solar eclipse takes place on the 1st of September, as well as the Mercury retrograde in that sector. And when we have our new moon solar eclipse on the first day of the month, this is conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Virgo, and Mercury, that's retrograde. So this is an awareness period. The eclipse is a portal between the sun and the moon, the relationship between them, and it's about insight and gaining the intuition and downloading some information to lead you on a correct path if you're not already. And this would involve your neighborhood. Some of you Cancerians might be in a new neighborhood environment at the top of the month, or have a new founded relationship with a sibling. You could see a new vehicle be eclipsed in right into the family with a new moon in the vehicle sector, and a large one at that, because Jupiter's involved. That would be an SUV or some kind of large ride, or maybe it's just a boat, different mode of transportation altogether. A yacht. On the 9th of September, this is fabulous because Jupiter makes an annual transit. So he is leaving the sign of Virgo and entering Libra through October 10th of 2017. So he is going to have a 13-month stay in your fourth house of home environment and house of motherhood and family. This is great for those of you who are moving or have moved to a new neighborhood around that solar eclipse time. Jupiter is expansion of the home, upgrading, bringing in new materials for the home, luck, positivity, faith, abundance, and prosperity in your fourth house of home. Beautiful, beautiful area. And it's the deepest part of the astrological chart, of the astrological wheel, the fourth house, the opposite of the midheaven. And at your foundation, at your root, Jupiter is sitting. So there is an expansion of knowing where it is you came from, the knowledge, because Jupiter also contains a lot of wisdom and knowledge. Where did you come from? How can you incorporate that into how you're living now? That could apply. What did you learn from your mother in the fourth house? You might actually see the mother come live with you at a certain point within that year, if that applies to some of you. But this is great news for Cancer because you govern the fourth house naturally on the solar wheel. You're all about nurturing in your home environment. And now you have the planet of benevolence and opulence and magnetic energy, magnitude, sitting in this sector that you're so comfortable with. Cancer, I don't think anyone could pull you out of your house for the next 13 months. I think you are nesting, you're expanding. You could be building on an addition to the home, building up, going all the way up. It's fabulous. On the 16th, we have our full moon lunar eclipse at 24 degrees of Pisces. This is in the 9th house of foreign travel and education and certification and philosophies, belief systems, religions, politics, metaphysical areas. The 9th house is very spiritual, but I feel intuitively that some Cancerians are done with courses at this time. Maybe you've finished, because the full moon brings an ending, and a completion, a culmination in the sector it resides. And in the 9th house, you could find an end to a study at that time. You could be coming back from foreign travel, and in a retrograde, you might have some delays with that. There's something illuminated, though, in the 9th house that needs to be seen, and an awareness with a full moon shining in the 9th house. Maybe you're putting an end to a particular belief system. You're putting the kibosh on being a certain political denomination or religious denomination. You're putting an end to some things. Could apply very differently. And please check your ascendant sign, because that is actually very accurate for transits, as the ascendant depicts where your natal first house is on your astrological chart. Yes, you're watching your sun sign forecast if you're a Cancer sun, but if you looked at your natal chart, it wouldn't start with Cancer. It would start with your ascendant at the 9 o'clock position of that chart. The 9 o'clock hand is your ascendant. Okay, on the 22nd of September, Mercury goes direct at 14 degrees of Virgo in that 3rd house. You might be tongue-tied, Cancer, not really coming across too clear with what you're relaying, because Mercury, the planet of communication, is retrograde in the sector of communication for you. That's a double whammy. I wouldn't recommend signing documents in the first 22 days of September either. Don't commit to anything legally. What you're doing is you're putting a timestamp of a Mercury retrograde in that document, and that foreshadows miscommunication in that contract or that endeavor. So if you can hold off, I would. If you can't, I understand. You have to move forward with life, but I would expect some delays with that. The same day, the sun enters Libra on the 22nd of September, and this is our autumnal equinox in the northern hemisphere, the vernal equinox in the southern hemisphere. And when the sun enters Libra, that is conjunct Jupiter in the 4th house of home. So now you've got the life force himself, the all-giving sun, sitting next to our biggest planet in the sector of environment and home and motherhood and maternal energy, what you got from your mother, what you received from your roots and your family and your foundation. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Cancer loves this. You love it, even though Libra is a cardinal sign. So this energy, wherever you have placements in Cancer, this does square Libra. I know that's confusing because, gosh, you could look at a chart and analyze it every day and still have new things you find. And with astrology, it's like layers of an onion. You just keep peeling and peeling and peeling. There's really no ending to the chimes. There's really no ending to the definitions and what you can get, the awareness of the chart. So yes, I don't want to confuse a lot of people, but you're a cardinal sign, Cancer, as well as Libra, as well as Aries, as well as Capricorn. Meaning you're the leaders. You like to initiate action too. There's mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and there are fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. So there's fixed, which are people that are very stubborn. They don't like change as much. They don't want that kind of movement all the time. Cancer likes to be in charge, as do Arians. They're the leaders of the zodiac. But so when Libra's activated, it is a square to you, which is a 90-degree angle with the 4 signs. We're all dealing with 360 degrees here. If you don't like algebra, you might not dig astrology too much. But I loved math and science in school, so I'm all about this. Anyway, rein it in, Audrey. Let's get back to the forecast. When Libra is activated with Jupiter, the sun, This does square your Cancerian planetary positions. However, you still receive this energy in the sector of your astrological chart because you have all 12 signs in your astrological chart, although you might not have planets positioned in all of those sectors. But this will improve the home life. Trust that. It'll expand this environment area. I hope I didn't confuse too many people with all of that cardinal stuff, but take what you can from it. Actually, this forecast, not everything is set in stone. You draw from it what you will and use it positively, and that will be good for you. Whatever you think about, you bring about, so remain positive. On the 23rd of September, Venus makes a transit into a sister water sign, Scorpio. You like this because this is the 5th house of fun, children, pleasure, creative endeavors, sports, gambling. Very fun, lighthearted house. And Venus is attraction and love and even harmony and balance. So your relationship with even female children is very positive right now because Venus governs the feminine. On the 27th of September, Mars enters Capricorn. This is the 7th house for you of marriage, having the planet of stimulation and energy and passion in your 7th house of soulmates, marriage, business partnerships. This gives a lot of drive and stamina and determination in that sector. It's wonderful for relationships and for business partnerships. However, when Mars does enter Capricorn, he will be conjunct Pluto. So Mars is aggression and at its worst, anger. Conjunct, sitting next to Pluto, the planet of intensity and death, which is also squaring Uranus, the planet of upheaval and electricity and shock and surprise in Aries. So what I made a notation here, looking at the astrology a little bit in advance, I was concerned regarding a time period between October 20th and November 4th. And although I've said in just a few other videos that I'm not a doomsday predictor, I'm not about putting fear out there and getting everyone on a negative thought pattern, but to be forewarned is to be forearmed here. And I'm not liking that time period, and it's not just for Cancer, it's for the world. And it's also, I'm noticing, election time. And what I get from this combustible energy, we could be prone at that time period, October 20 through November 4th, for natural disasters that pertain to volcanic eruptions, electricity, lightning storms, or some kind of natural disaster, earthquake energy actually, violent energy. I wouldn't travel, go through foreign travel around that time if you could avoid it. And I would also just keep aware. The best advice I could give is you have to be aware of all of your surroundings. You know how many people I see driving around in a complete coma? I don't know how people manage to leave their house sometimes. And eclipses are very weird days for driving automobiles. I don't drive on eclipses because people leave their bodies. We're being eclipsed out and downloading information, and I just think people are in a little bit of a blind state. So I like to, take whatever action I can to avoid any of that chaos. Going back to this Mars going into Capricorn, stamina in the relationship, yes, but it's also squaring your career sector. Taking this out of any type of weird global violent act or political something or other. I would say that you're having some tension in between the time you're spending with your spouse and the time you're putting into the career. And there needs to be some kind of release of that tension there. You might even go through a little argument about it. I would try so hard not to react to anything at that time period where we're having the square, the Uranus-Pluto square, but conjunct Mars. Not the best. On the 30th of September, we have our new moon at 8 degrees of Libra. This is in the 4th house of home again. Jupiter, the sun, and your new moon on September 30th. So many Cancers are loving the home environment or making it so that you are very much connecting with that environment. Let's get to the cards right now, Cancer. and talking so much. Okay, and if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyallison.com. You can select your desired reading length via the PayPal button, and I will get back to you in a day or two with an email with some appointment times, and we can set that up. Cancer, here are your cards for September 2016. Six of Wands, reward, accolade, honor, respect from your fellow teammates or who you're working with or for, respect. The Hierophant. This is the 9th house of education and spirituality that the full moon eclipse is in. Oh, look at that. The moon and the sun. That's the eclipse. And it's in the 9th house of metaphysical activity, learning, study, certification. Interesting. Okay, let's see what else comes up. You have a few cards. The Lovers. This is the sign of Gemini, but it also means attraction, lust. There could be a love triangle happening because there's two people in the Lovers card, but there's also the angel, the third. Oh, and look, the moon and the sun. Wow. You know what? I've never noticed that before on this Lovers card. Look at that. You have got two cards with the sun and the moon there. These are both the eclipses, the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. Interesting. And both of them take place in a travel sector. Local travel on the 1st, foreign travel on the 16th. Okay, you have two more cards. Temperance. This is a Sagittarian energy. There's a sun on this one too. Okay, Cancer, so this card denotes patience, divine timing, balance, which is Venus, entering your 5th house of children. Temperance, patience, beauty, divine timing in order to get to the road ahead that leads to the sun. Some of you are traveling, even in the retrograde, and maybe moving, taking a road to a different path. 3 of Cups, friendship, besties, support, your support system, feminine support, positive ceremony, a graduation, a shower, a baby shower, a bridal shower. So what all of this means together, let me get these other cards out of the way, and then I'll draw the angel card. So you could be receiving some certification through study that you are finishing now, Cancer, and that would make sense on the 16th, full moon, ending in the 9th house of certification, your certificate or reward or award. And it's attracting people to you, perhaps, and with some patience and timing after receiving that, you could even connect and have support with friends in that path. Maybe you're celebrating, maybe you're having a party because of receiving this course of study that's coming to completion. Now, some of you, taking that out of it, some of you may be showing attraction to a professor, or someone older, a guru, a guide, someone you're learning from is attractive to you. And also, some of you are biting your tongue. You're remaining patient throughout this development. This could also mean you're finding an attraction to topics that you're not usually drawn to. Maybe you are watching this channel as a first-time viewer and you're realizing that you're drawn to the metaphysical. The book he's reading has planets and stars, and it's very astrologer energy. So you're finding something attractive in the 9th house, Cancer. And that's great because you don't always believe the same thing you did when you were 2. Life is about progression. You do change. And I know, in my own life, I think this is interesting. I know a lot of people from the past that still think I'm, 16 or they think they know me, but they don't, because people grow and change so much. And if you're not in communication with someone annually, you don't really know where they've changed. You're just assuming they have the same ideologies and concepts as they did when they were younger. And that just isn't so, because life is so long. It's short, but it's long. It's both. It's only in the present moment. So, draw on friendships and female support right now, which you do have. Maybe you're taking courses with another female, or you're celebrating just with friends. You have a lot to celebrate with this home or this environment, and you could just be receiving a lot of support there. Let me pull the angel card for Cancer and see what comes up. Cancer. Rochelle, she came up in another reading. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. I love what she's wearing. She's wearing green for abundance. So following and honoring the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. You know, Venus entering the 5th house is about true love and romance as well. And Venus being love, Aphrodite, in the sector of true romance. Trust your heart if you're meeting someone new, Cancer, if you're not already in relationship. The 23rd on, while Mercury's direct, is very positive the last week of September for initiating new love and romance into your life. I am so grateful to be here. Thank you for sticking with me. And I'm wishing you a sweet September. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.